Hey, what's up guys? This is the new Google Pixel 7 Pro. I'm gonna unbox this thing and review it, take a lot of pictures as well. We'll take several pictures. And actually in a separate video, I'm gonna compare this camera to the Galaxy S22 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So definitely subscribe to and hit the bell for notifications so you know when that video goes out. So, some of the things that have been upgraded from the Pixel 7 Pro versus the Pixel 6 Pro, which I've had for a year now, and this is actually a really good phone. So some of the things that they added was the new Google Tensor 2 processor, and the other one has the Tensor 1, which is the voice recognition on this thing is absurd. I'll give you guys a sample of that. And yeah, so let's actually look at this phone. We have the 3 cameras in the back, flashlight, or flash I should say. Very similar. We have the SIM card here, and it also supports eSIM if you guys are wondering, USB-C, and they colored the inside of that as well to match the color of the phone, which is kind of a nice touch. And yeah, but just right off the bat, very similar to the Pixel 6 Pro. It's it's completely obvious that it's a Google phone, a Pixel phone. Alright, so let's see what else comes inside the box. We have a USB-C to USB-C, a USB-A to USB-C, and some manuals and stuff. And I'm assuming a SIM card, yeah. So for the SIM card slot, you also get this adapter, pin, I should say, to take out the SIM card. Aside from the new processor on the 7 Pro, you also get a brighter display, 1500 nits, so 25% brighter, a 5x optical zoom thanks to the new telephoto lens, and a 30x super res zoom, which again I'll compare it to the S22 Ultra, which the S22 Ultra actually has a 10x optical zoom, so it should be better. But thanks to its new ultra-wide camera, you also now get macro focus, which did not exist in the previous Pixels, and face unlock, which just uses this camera. So that's again something I will test, but I doubt it's going to be as good as the iPhone's face unlock. And photo unblur is one of the new software features where if you take a picture, you can unblur it if something came out blurry. So I got a chance to play with the new Pixel 7 Pro, and it's very similar in terms of feel to the 6 Pro, which is kind of what I would expect. Now the 6 Pro is a fast phone, I should say, and it's very smooth. So in terms of performance, I really couldn't tell a difference between the two, so I ran a Geekbench test, and again, the numbers are very similar to each other. Yes, it has slightly better multi-core performance over the 6 Pro and the Galaxy S22 Ultra, but it's very similar. When you use any of these phones, they're smooth and fast. One of the top reasons to get a Pixel phone is for its speech-to-text recognition, which, starting with the Pixel 6 Pro, was already mind-blowing how accurate it was, and it would even add punctuation. So, if you had a question to say something like, "Hey, what do you want to eat tonight?" it would automatically put a question mark for you, which is crazy that you wouldn't even need to do that. Now, I have the 6 Pro to the right, and I have the 7 Pro to the left, and I want to see if the 7 Pro is better than the 6 Pro, because the 6 Pro was already crazy good. So, doing a comparison, I mean, just looking at it straight up like this, it doesn't look like one is really better than the other. I will probably have to take a closer look to see the difference, but they're both crazy phenomenal at speech-to-text, which makes texting so much easier, which makes searching for stuff easier. Just generally speaking, this is an awesome feature, and it's way better than what the iPhone offers with Siri, or really just about anything, or Bixby, or just, this thing is just phenomenal at speech-to-text. Now let's talk about face unlock, which is one of the features that they added. So if I point this to my face, it unlocks right away, which is fine. It actually works pretty nicely if you're outside or if you're inside and there's a decent amount of light. However, it pretty much sucks if you're in a dark room or at night. It just doesn't work well, and that's because it's just using the camera, unlike Face ID on the iPhone, which works day or night, doesn't matter. And even in a pitch black room, the iPhone unlocks as long as you're pointing it to your face. If that doesn't work, you still get that on-screen fingerprint reader, which I feel like they improved it a bit from the 6 Pro, but I mean, I feel like it works. Yeah, it's working. I mean, it doesn't work all the time, but it works most of the time. So I still think the Samsung makes a slightly better one, but this one, I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but it feels a little bit better than the 6 Pros. And I actually have a screen protector on this now, so it works even with that, which is pretty cool. Getting into the video quality, when you're watching videos, you have the option of watching an original size with the bezels, or you could zoom in to get the full screen. However, it's going to crop a part of it, and you do get that little camera punch out, I should say, for it, but it's not too noticeable, especially if it's kind of dark in that area. Let's do a quick audio test. So I will point the speakers, which are on the bottom, to my shotgun mic. Okay, so for a phone, it's okay. There's nothing special about these speakers at all. One of my favorite speakers were back in the days, I think the HTC had it, where they had the front-facing speakers. Those were the only times that really a cell phone sounded good, being a cell phone. I mean, it still didn't sound great, but I mean, being a cell phone, it sounded pretty good. With these new ones, none of them really sound that great. One thing I was hoping for on the 7 Pro was a quicker access to the Wi-Fi button to toggle it on or off. So the way you do it is you slide down once, you tap on internet, and then you disable or enable it. So it takes 3 presses or 3 actions to get to it. Whereas on the Samsung, it takes 2 actions. I basically slide down and I have access to the Wi-Fi button right here. So this is really a nuance and most people probably won't even care about it, but as someone who tests a lot of mesh Wi-Fi / routers, I do play with the Wi-Fi button quite a bit, so it is good to have it easier. I do realize I could make a widget out of it, but I just kind of like it on the slide down. I like it to be hidden. But it does support Wi-Fi 6E, which is a really good thing, and I am going to test the new Nest Wi-Fi Pro, which does support Wi-Fi 6E, so subscribe if you guys haven't already to check out all those numbers. Now, the main reason to get a Pixel 7 Pro is for its camera. It has a phenomenal camera, and actually I got a second one for one of my family members. Starting off with some daytime shots, came out really well. Colors are very nice, not oversaturated or anything, so it was a good depiction of what it looked like in real life. So I would expect this from any modern day cell phone, especially if it's from a Pixel, and these are at different zoom levels. Next, we're going to jump into night sight. So here's something that the Pixel does very well, where it takes very nice, crisp and clear pictures without using flash. So it uses its night sight mode, and I'm really happy with the results. So even this is a really good example where with the telephoto lens, zoom into this In-N-Out burger, it's awesome. Now we start going to the zoom level. So this is at its widest, then we're going to go into the normal 1x zoom, and then we're going to jump into the 2x zoom, and maybe you could start making out the picture, but I'm basically going in through every zoom level, which is still all optical until the very end. So this is the 5x telephoto zoom, and then we're going to go into the 30x super res zoom, and I get into the shot of the moths. And these are some macro shots, so some close-ups of the camera, and came out very, very well. Just overall very pleased with this camera. And finally, for some footage taken at 4K 30 frames per second, there's a bird on top of the goalpost. So as I zoom in, it will get very sharp once it gets to that sweet spot of optical zoom. So this is that 5x optical zoom, and overall, I would say the quality is pretty good. Now, is it worth getting this thing? Why or why not? Well, honestly, all of it depends on what you're upgrading from. So from the Pixel 6 Pro, it's not a huge upgrade. There are some benefits, like the fingerprint sensor does seem to work a bit better. I do like that they added face unlock. The speech to text was on par. They're both amazing. And I will say that I do like the photo and blur feature. I'm not going to say it's amazing, but I noticed that when you're taking a picture with the Pixel 7 Pro, I feel like it automatically uses that, because even if you're shaking your hand fairly quickly, it still takes a pretty good shot of that. So overall, I was very impressed with this. If you're upgrading from anything other than a Pixel 6 Pro or a Galaxy S22 Ultra, I think it's most likely worth the upgrade. But from those two phones, not a huge upgrade. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. And as always, smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.